It's the Gear Tester here, and I thought I'd give you guys a look, my viewers and subscribers, at something rather dangerous that I encountered today at work. This is a Conibear trap, and I was doing some mowing on a large zero-turn mower, and one of the wheels of the mower came by right here, and I saw it kind of move the grass and these kind of plant material here a little bit, and I saw this shape, this metal, and I saw this chain, and so I was going to just reach down here and jerk this chain out because I didn't want it getting caught up in my mower blade, and I just thought it was a piece of scrap chain, this very rusty metal, and I almost just reached down here and grabbed it, but I saw these two little teeth hanging here, these two little rods hanging down, and my father-in-law trapped when he was in high school and college quite a bit. And I realized that this was probably a Conibear. And I almost still just reached down and grabbed it because I thought surely somebody just leaned it up against the wall here and forgot it. This is not on private property. This is private property, but it's a public institution. And I'm on the staff working as a groundskeeper as a part-time job. And so I figured that somebody couldn't be trapping here because it's not private land, and because it's not, you know, private in the sense of an individual's private property. And this trap isn't marked at all, so I was just going to reach down even once I realized that this was a Conibear trap and just grab it. But something told me I better go get a stick, and I just grabbed a stick, stuck it in there, and bam, you can see right there, it caught. And it is solidly onto that trap. And this really actually bothers me quite a bit. I'm sure somebody was just trying to catch raccoons or a possum or something that's going out in and out from underneath this deck, and that's fine. But this isn't marked well. And, you know, we could have been string trimming here, and some of the other individuals that work for the grounds department that I'm working on, this landscaping company, they wouldn't necessarily recognize trapping equipment, and they could have really messed themselves up. I could definitely have broken fingers and maybe even a broken wrist. I mean, best case scenario, I could have stuck my hand in, and I could have had it just stuck on my arm. It's strong enough that I couldn't have gotten it off without help, so I guess I could be in the shop with the bench grinder. I'm actually off work now, not making this video while I'm on the clock, but so best case scenario, it could be snapped on my wrist and I could be bench grinding it off. Worst case scenario, I could be on the way to the emergency room with a broken wrist. So this is one of the reasons I don't really like traps. I'm perfectly fine with people hunting and trapping in the correct places, but one of the reasons I don't like traps is they're working 24/7, and then you can catch somebody or something that you really didn't want to catch. Another reason I'm kind of bothered by these traps being here is this is actually a place where young families and kids have really close access to, and you know, this trap could have killed a small child, definitely broken a small child's arm the way it was set here. It was covered up in the wood, in the bushes a little bit. It was kind of pulled up like this, but as I continued mowing around the back side of this building, which is one of many buildings connected and on this property of the institution that I am working part-time for, you can see here I found another one of these traps, and this one bothers me a little bit less just because it is more visible and because it's in the back of the building rather than the front of the building right by the entrance. But I'm going to spring this trap for you. This is another one of these Conibear traps. This is a relatively small Conibear trap, but you can see how this works here. The animal is going to either try to enter or exit, and as it does so, it strikes that, and that wasn't very, you can see it broke that branch straight off there. Not really a safe thing in my personal view to be having just around buildings facilities like this. My guess is that this is probably a staff member or somebody's husband or father, or somebody who's wanting to take care of the animals that may be bugging the property, but it just doesn't seem like a safe thing to be doing, and it actually endangered me physically today as I was at work. I'm glad I recognized what these things are. I'm glad that I've had experience with these kind of traps and recognized what they were, because I could have really hurt myself. You could be seeing me doing tabletop reviews with one hand for a while if I'd broken my wrist or my fingers with these traps. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. You know, this is a perfect example of something that I never thought that I would use, knowing what a trap was. Never thought that I would actually have to be aware of this reality, and because I was aware, and because I paid attention, just having a fun time with my father-in-law as he was showing me some of the traps that he had from the good old days. Yeah, it really helped me not get hurt today because I paid attention, just having fun. You never know what kind of things you learn, kind of things you will learn when you are just having fun and paying attention, and how those might apply to your life. I know lots of times people say, well, I'm never going to use that. I'm never going to use what I just learned maybe from a class or something like that. But you know what? You do use things when you might not expect you're going to use them. So thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. My goal is to produce quality video reviews of shooting, camping, and survival gear, along with the odd video that has to do with my day-to-day life and things like this. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. This is the Gear Tester signing off.